Okay. Good morning for all the students. It's a pleasure for me to announce the Professor Hongxia Zhang, Associate Professor from the Institute for the History of Ancient Civilizations at the Northeast Normal University in Changchun, China, and now postdoctoral at Thesaurus Linguae Latinae at Bayerische Akademie der Wissenschaften at Munich in Germany. Uh, we began freely conversation in the following minutes. And first, can you tell us about your current research and a brief overview of your alma mater, the Institute for the History of Ancient Civilizations at the Northeast Normal University, please?
Yeah, I shortly would like to introduce my former research interests a bit, because in my PhD time, I did something on literature, so about Cicero's Procluentio, but I used, I applied one theory. It's by Goffman's framing theory. So by applying this frame theory, I analyzed how Cicero has persuaded his audience. And now I turn to the current research interests. So I was required to switch my focus from literature, Latin literature, to numismatics. So I'm still trying to apply this framing theory to interpret or to revive how this kind of, how to say, communication between citizens, Roman citizens or normal people and politicians on the coins. So how politicians has promoted their idea through issues, coins, for example, which kind of legends, which kind of image they have used on coins. So actually this methodologically, I use the same, how to say, same way to interpret information from iconography or from, how to say, interpreting way. So this is my main research interests. So to review how this, especially how political structure struggle in late Roman Republic, for example, between Pompey and Caesar, between Augustus and Antony, how their struggle has been presented on the coins. So this is my main topic. And the method, as I have described, so I try to link these different messages from different perspectives. Yeah, so this is about my research interests and my method.
Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you, Hongxia.
about my home institute and home university. Okay, I start from our university. Our university is called Northeast Normal University. If we are talking normal, then it means that we are educating teachers for different levels, for high middle school, primary school. And this university is located in the northeast area of China, so relatively a bit closer to Russian and Korea Peninsula. So this is the location. And the winter time is very long. I think it's more than 5 months. So if you from a bit southern, it will be a bit torturing for you. And our institute, I would like to emphasize a bit about our institute. Our institute is a is a cradle of ancient studies in Chinese universities. It was built up in 1984, so exactly after the opening policy. Chinese scholars would like to know, okay, now we would like to be open to learn or to get to know or to understand how Westerners think, what's going on in their history. Then, based on this kind of idea, this kind of how to say, special time, so opening time,
Yeah.
our institute has been built up under this background. And in our institute, it consists of Assyriology, Hittitology, and Egyptology, and classics. And now we also have Byzantine studies.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hongxia, for talk about your institute and for your current research. The second question I will take is, can you explain to the viewers, no, to the viewers, what is the Thesaurus Lingua Latina? Please, what is this?
Yeah. So I have been here like 7 months. So Thesaurus Linguae Latinae is, I think, yes, it's a very foundational dictionary of Latin. This project or this institute has been launched in 19, no, 18, 1884, I think. Yes, if I'm not totally wrong, it's like that. Or the, I think for me, at least from my side, the most important or most impressive part about Thesaurus Linguae Latinae is how they have collected all the sources. So basically from the origin of the Latin to the 676. So they have collected all the sources during this time. So it covers quite sorrowful, so very, very full collection. This is one thing. Second thing, which is very impressive for me, is how they have organized this project since from the beginning. So it's very full of index, and I mean, even now when I read some sources collected by someone who is 100 years, who did this job 100 years ago, I still can easily access to all this kind of slips, all the archives. It's very a systematic working way.
And for this, in this time now, which letters are being revised and which ones remains to be done?
Basically,
This
all the letters before
all the
R,
letters.
except N,
Okay.
have been done. So now, because N has over N, number N, letter N covered a lot of vocabularies, a lot of lemmata. So N was somehow skipped over, and now it's the time for N and R.
Okay. And can you explain how you work in the Thesaurus Lingua Latina? What is your work in this facet?
So the basic working way is that if anyone who is a beginner when one comes to the Thesaurus Linguae Latinae, we always get a like a tutor, an experienced tutor. For example, my tutor is Niger Holmes, and then his role is guiding me to get access to the editing work. For example, this time, currently I got the lemma numisma. So from
Okay.
him, I have collected, or he has transferred all the slips. But these slips has been collected in different time. You can say some are very new, it's very white. See, some are very yellow, so it's old. So basically, it's like a 4 times collection. Then my tutor always collected all the slips from the archive,
Okay.
and this is how I required that I want to do something which is related to coinage. Then I got the lemma nomisma, and after I have got the lemma or the archive or slips, so it's like I think it's more than 50 pieces, and
Okay.
I generally started to read it, but there are some rules. For example, if you get this slip, then you notice there are different, okay, maybe you cannot see it. So of course someone has copied it. And then there is a number here. And also another number here. And also another number here.
Yeah.
So this number is helping for you to find the book. So which edition, which author you can find. And this number here, this is not a number, but a lemmata. It tells which vocabulary, which term this slip is for. And here you got another number. It means in this copy, or in this slip, there are 70 characters. Basically, it means this slip has been copied 70 times and has been distributed to 70 boxes, respectively to different terms, words. So this is a basic understanding of this. And of course, they have some rules. For example, here you can say there is a source, a quotation source, a very short line. And because maybe the one who has copied this slip has different quotation system, which could be not standardized as the thesaurus required nowadays. So as an editor or compiler for lemmata, we are required to compare this standardized index.
Okay.
Then if we go through here, just open it, then we can say clearly which kind of quotation system they are used. So it's very standardized. Then you always need to compare and find the latest standardization. And at least for me, this is very helpful because it tells you where these sources are from. For example, I cannot read this kind of handwriting because Europeans wrote letter in different way compared to me. So it's a bit difficult for me to distinguish all the handwritings. So this is also the reason if I got the quotation system, then I can directly go to the book where the sources has been, where the sources is from. and then I can get the typed version. Then it's helpful for me to directly jump into the sources.
Okay.
So generally, I copied all by myself in Word file. And I also make some marks, okay, which topic this text is telling, is discussing about. Then I read through all the slips. Then basically I can draw a structure, okay, maybe this piles of slip can be classified under one topic or one layer, and another group could be another second layer. So then I generally make an outline, a structure according to my understanding. And of course, I always can encounter different questions, different difficulties. So then I go to discuss with my tutor. Then he
Yes.
will give me some comments, advices. Then I started to compile the lemmata or lemma. And of course, there are another rules. So for example, if there are different forms, if there are different versions, if they have Hebrew roots, if they have Greek roots, if it's sources from Bibles. So it's like a journey of discovery.
Yes. Yes. And these bibliographic complex systems. It's incredible,
Yes,
no?
yeah.
Incredible. And you work in another word about numisma. You work another word.
Yes, last year I was working. I have worked for two lemmata. One is Rutabulum. It's a cooking machine, and this this lemma has very few. I think maybe 20, a bit more than 20 slips. So this was a starting, a warming up vocabulary for me. Then it's also easy because then there is only two layers of meaning. One is very, okay, it's a cooking machine, a cooking tool. Then the other, this meaning, there are several examples. Then you just compile them. So it's easy. Then there is a second layer. It's a transferred meaning. So it's easy. My second lemma I have worked is rugio. So it means raw. Then a god can roar. Tiger, or any nature, a mountain, a weed can roar. So this lemmata is a bit complicated, and there are many sources from Bible. Then the way how to trace back Bible versions is a bit problematic for me. So it took quite a long time for me to do this.
And how long can it take to complete this word in time? No, what
Mm-hmm.
is all the year, 2 months, five 5 weeks? I don't say if you can explain.
Um, the lucky thing is everyone knows that I am not an experienced editor, so I always get small lemmas which contains less or not that much slips. So I always can finish them like maybe 4 weeks if I do it intensively. But I heard that, for example, experienced one, it seems, for example, if they works for the Lemma Res Publica or Regina, then it may take maybe several months.
Yeah, 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 yes. and what editions or written literary texts are consulted for you for review all these lemata?
So if it's about general information, then I quite often try to get access to, for example, I also search from Google, then I read Google articles, and I also read online articles. But if I would like to focus on specific term in an academic way, and no matter in our institute or in here, I started to read articles from OCD, from New Pauli, and my way or my steps to grow to get to access to a new topic is basically okay. So first OCD, okay. Then if I would like to get some reference book, then I can search online, because if you have a keyword, then you always can find related books and monographs. And if I would like to get some basic information about reception history, then New Pauli, there is a one volume from New Pauli. It's also very helpful. And quite often I use the online editions. It's even easier to access.
Oh, very interesting, very interesting. And finally, how many people collaborate in the edition of this bibliographic construction of the work? No, for example, you talk about you are working with your tutor and you know, and for one word, no, what's how many people collaborate?
The most close the closest one to me, or the only one I know actually, is my tutor. So he's responsible for guiding me. If I have question, I always can go to him. And of course, quite often I also bother or disturb other colleagues. If I just had a question, no one is besides me, then I just jump to anyone who is working in the library or in the Thesaurus. But I just heard first tutor is very important, and because we can discuss very closely. And after this first draft, there will be another piles, another different steps. For example, the zero fight for someone is dealing with etymology, so an expert in etymology, or someone is dealing with so Romania language. So how this term has been maintained in other language system. So there are different experts
Okay.
who are dealing different parts. So I just heard and read there are this kind of procedures, but the step I can be covered or I can be known is only from starting point to the first draft. So this is the part I am responsible, and then during this process I am discussing with my tutor. The other steps I'm not obligated to follow. So I do not know how many people have worked for the whole, from starting to the end, or I mean to publishing.
Okay, thank you, Professor Hongxia Zhang. I think it's a good view of your work and the work in the Thesaurus Linguae Latinae. Now we note announce your congratulations for your work and thank you for explain it here. No, and and see you in the future. Thank you, Professor.